Good. Okay, so there's no message. This is not a teaching. There is no one. That's what seems to be happening. There's us sitting in front of a screen and breathing and thinking, and feelings may happen. So that's it. That's all there is. And on the one hand, it's very ordinary. On the other hand, it's very ordinary that it's in perfect harmony. This is how harmony looks like. This is how harmony feels. This is what harmony thinks. It's this. There isn't more. It doesn't have a spiritual layer, or it doesn't have a layer of truth, so to speak, something that gives an answer to this, or that explains it, or that would cover it, that would cover what seems to be happening, that it could grasp it. It's impossible. There is no such thing at all. What seems to be happening is just an empty, it's just this, being empty and being exactly what it is. That's the natural reality, this being real and unreal, this being something and nothing. But that's not a truth that anyone can know. That's not an answer to life. This can't be used for anything, because every attempt to use it, I mean, to comfort oneself, that would basically be the only attempt, or that would be the only idea why to use this at all, would also just only be what seems to be happening, and would be empty and meaningless as well. It just wouldn't work, so to speak, or it doesn't work to comfort someone. And it wouldn't work because there is no answer to what happens. There is no deeper truth to this. There isn't a spiritual layer to this. There is no one who has any clue about anything at all. And this can't be known either. This is not a position either. There's just life in its whole totality apparently happening, without anyone having an answer to it, without in the end anyone being able to find a true and stable position within that, a position of knowing, a position of having arrived, a stable presence, so to speak, a place to rest, someone, some place where one could withdraw to and be happy and fine. This someone doesn't exist. That's what we talk about here. This someone doesn't exist. And in the collapse of that, there is no promise at all. And even when we talk about then everything is whole and complete and there's the natural harmony or whatever, it's not a place where someone is resting at. It's not a knowledge or a knowing. So what happens in that sense is deeply impersonal. No matter how personal it seems, there never is a real me or a real person behind it. In the end, the me is never the cause for something. There is no one. There's just this. Freely being itself. Without intention, without concept about itself, with no experience of itself. It's just this. For no one. So what seems to be happening, including right now, what I say is useless, because it's everything, but can't be used. The person tries to use it, of course, because it thinks it's a truth that it can know, or there is an underlying truth to everything, but it isn't. There just isn't. So the natural reality has nothing to do with knowledge or knowing or experiencing. I mean, experiencing is knowing in that sense. They are the same thing, but they aren't real and they don't play a role in that sense. While the person constantly has the impression that itself plays a role, that it's important, that experiencing is important, and that knowing is important. and it's not. So anyone who wants to say something, you are very welcome to do so. Unmute yourself or write in the chat. Good.
Oh, maybe I would like to try and ask something. If I hope this microphone works.
Yeah, I hear you very well.
Okay. Now, there was a question the other day. I think it is a very common question that about like something like, well, in the world there are what was it, 8 billion people or how many? And just a few care about this topic, and that even lesser people are seemingly without a me or something. How can it be, you know? I think it's a very common question. And I thought then maybe it's just, yeah, a bit like a wrong question, or it's me asking this, or I would like to say, well, there is no there is no liberation. So this is not an issue, a kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's the wrong question, kind of turned around.
Yeah, one could say so. It's already operating within a story and assuming that those things really exist. Me's and people who are interested in this message and know me's and stuff like that. Yeah.
But maybe to some people that mind about science or so, you could say, well, it's a bit something to do with like people have bigger brains and like neocortex and some, or I mean, if people want to know something about it, you can even say that maybe it doesn't help, but because people ask, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, people ask, yeah, well, I have no idea. Probably they just think there is some, it has importance, or I don't know where it comes from actually.
Well, then I should ask, like other animals don't have this, and humans have this issue, kind of.
That's how it seems, at least. That's how it seems. But we don't know. But yeah, that's how it seems. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's just what seems to be happening, but no one knows it really. But it seems as if only humans have this spiritual problem, this personal problem. And out of this seem to come a lot of interesting questions. And I think for some people, this might be an approach. Why is it like this? Why is it like this? Assuming that there would be a real answer to it. I mean, I'm quite happy to discuss those things. To a certain degree, I like playing with ideas and concepts, but there's really no assumption that there would be a true answer to any of this. So, to a certain degree, but that's just what's happening here. There is an openness to discuss all kinds of stories, but there'd just be no answer to it. And you're right, because they are already, right from the start, right from the question, they operate in a reality that don't exist as such, or that doesn't exist as such. Which is in this example, the world, and but you're right, it's a completely non-question. I mean, who cares? Who sees me's and 8 billion people and no me's, and but all of those things don't really exist. So
yeah. What does exist then?
Well, nothing really.
But
Nothing.
no me exists less than something else, or
Well, there isn't something that is no me. The thing is, if you approach it like that, you're already coming from a standpoint of reality. And then you add no me into something that seems to exist in the world. The thing is that me never happened in the first place. So it's not that there is a no me reality, which is more real. There's just no one there ever.
Mm. But it's also beyond the words, or it's not in the words at all.
You know, it's beyond the word, it's beyond experiencing. Or not beyond, but this has just nothing to do with experiencing. Because experiencing never really happened. That would be the question, like how is it in deep sleep or before self-consciousness was born? What was then?
Yeah.
Not as a concept, directly. How is that? How is it in deep sleep?
Don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all we can say about reality. And it's not that there's a special no-me state in deep sleep that is on top of being a me. There's just no one there. It's as simple as that. Everything else, everything that we tell ourselves about how it is, comes from this illusion of consciousness.
And mother and father is just a label, or
Well, yeah, those people do not exist. They are appearances during the day. Well, probably at night, but as well, at least when we are small, but there is no awareness of them at all.
Hi, Andreas.
Hello.
This is just like a semantic thing, but that word, nothing, like that there is nothing, would it be fair to say that it's not nothing, it's more like no thing, it's not a thing? Or is it literally like nothing?
Well, both.
Both.
Both would work. You were nodding when I brought the deep sleep analogy. What is there? Is it nothing or no thing or something that's nothing or
Well,
yeah,
you don't. There's no answer.
yeah, exactly.
There's just no answer because there's no questioner. There's no one asking any question in that.
Exactly. So there's a huge nothing aspect in this, I think.
Yeah, but there's there's a whole lot happening though. There's a like nothing is to me is like a void, some sort of void.
I know.
But there's so much seeming activity. You know, there's chairs and people cutting the grass and birds chirping and universes colliding and whatever. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Uh, well, I do say no thing also at times, but I mean, the person will just misunderstand. When I say it's no thing, the person will be left with the impression that, okay, it's not something, but it is. And when I say nothing, the person imagines some kind of void or yeah.
And I know this word is
It's
just like,
ungraspable. How it is ungraspable.
I mean, this word is the word God is very much there's so much interpretation around that, but from a certain, could you say also say like it's all God?
Well, I think I did that, but that was 10 years ago. Sitting in front of a screen would be God. This is everything, not some general truth or some reality that always is.
Yeah, like if I ask myself the question, what is God? Now it's a word. It's a word.
Well, the problem starts when you talk to yourself. I mean, this self is the dream. And of course, when you talk to yourself, you'll always come up with something.
Yeah.
Just in the dynamic. So what's there when this one isn't there? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. No thing.
But not a nothing that can be worded or anything.
Yeah.
It's not a nothing that is really nothing. There's just nothing there, really.
Yeah. I do I know what I know what you're getting at. I don't really, but
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Question. If loving feelings appear, there is no connection towards some apparent relationship. It seems like thoughts create a story about those feelings in a way. I'm not quite sure if I got the question right, but yeah, that's what seems to be happening. I don't think that thoughts create a story. I think it's the person who loves to create a truth about what happens. So there are loving feelings, and the person thinks this means we should move towards a relationship. Or I have no idea. I think that was what the example about. That's just an appearance, all of them. So nothing really creates anything. It's just. I think I don't get the question.
Hey, Andreas.
Hello.
You were just talking about deep sleep, but wouldn't you say that deep sleep is a state that happens through the to the body?
Well, yeah, one could say that, but that sounds a bit theoretical. What we talk about is how it is in deep sleep while deep sleep happens.
So, and that, so if there is a yearning to basically be in deep sleep, that is actually that which takes itself to be there.
Yeah, the yearning belongs to the illusion, to
Yes.
the eye, and it yearns for something.
Yes.
A lot of money or the absence of problems. To not
Yes.
be there, the person would even say, "Oh, I don't want to be there. It's all so horrible." That's all the same seeking, or that all comes from this sense of me.
And so, do I understand you correctly that you what you basically describe is basically like that this is always deep sleep in a way,
Exactly.
and that it never has woken up, so to speak.
Exactly. It never has become a creation. It never has come into existence.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not that the world starts in the morning, that the world appears out of nothing. It's just, well, ongoing. That doesn't work. It's timeless, but it's just all a timeless, what seems to be happening. And yeah, this includes us, apparently being aware, talking to each other, waking up, body waking up in the morning. It's just nothing being what it is. Now, unconsciousness never becomes real. So it's in that sense not even really absent at night and present during the day. That's again how the person would feel. It's all just a timeless appearance, with no switching between presence and absence, without moving from nothing to something and back. Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
So there isn't a let's say anything better than this, like.
Yes, better in terms of more fulfilling or closer to wholeness. Yeah, that's a dream or a hope. That at some point in the future there'll be an experience which is better in terms of being more fulfilled, more real, closer to the truth. No, never. Won't happen. In that sense, it'll never be better than this. It's an impossibility. It's chasing a dream.
So all the, let's say, the worries were also never really real in that way.
Oh, yeah, because all the worries circled around this idea. Will I get there or not? Will it get better or not? Am I on a good path or not? Is it going well or not?
But the worry about death.
So the joy and the worries of the person come from that dream. Yeah, the worry about death. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, I guess there wouldn't be a worry about death if when there is no one, or if there is no one.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Because it's already dead, then it's not alive in that sense.
At least not this worry about this. Well, yeah, there is no worry about death. Which doesn't mean that there is someone who made peace with death, or that there is someone facing death or something. It's not replaced with what I talked in the beginning, with a stable position of security and safety and stuff like that. But the worry that the person lives in, that something really bad might happen, and the worst thing would be death. This worry is part of that dream. But of course, there is the appearance of a living body, and that body, at least so far, is going to die. We don't know what science will do in the next 100 years, but so far, death seems quite certain to all of us. But the only possibility the person has, so to speak, is to arrange itself with it, to be fine with it. It's the same with every issue that the person feels separate from. How to deal with that? How can there be death in this world, so to speak, as a reality, and me? How can I be with that? So the person will create some approach, some standpoint, some opinion it has about death. Usually most of them crumble when death actually knocks at one's door. But that also doesn't have to be. But the body isn't solid or real, so it cannot die. Well, well, when you start like that, there is no real body. But what seems to be happening is bodies are born and they live and they die. But all of that, it's an empty appearance of that. But so far, I've never met anyone who has gone beyond 200 or years. So it would be what seems to be happening.
And it seems like this, the fact that this doesn't bring anything more, or this change not happening, this enhancement not happening at all, seems to also be really unacceptable.
Of course.
Or totally unacceptable. It's like one point where,
Of course, it is unacceptable because the person would say, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, what? It won't be better? How come? Like, it's over? How come?
Yeah, yes. I mean, the problem for the person is that its present experience is always unfulfillment. So if you tell the person that there will not be any change, or there won't be anyone becoming fulfilled, the person would say, okay, so I have to be a me, I have to suffer forever. This means I have to go on seeking forever. That's how the person hears that, energetically.
Yeah. I don't know if that's always the case. Like, I don't know if everyone seemed to be suffering, so to speak. I don't know.
Well, people don't suffer, but the illusion of me goes together with that, with this unfulfillment and seeking. But of course, most people don't notice because they think they already have their answers, and they're so occupied with doing.
Yeah.
Keeping the balls in the air, juggling their life. Of course, most people wouldn't say that they suffer or that they're
Yeah.
just so busy with doing and inventing new answers and ideas.
Yeah. Maybe in these talks it's often said, and it might become like a bit of a cliche, like, oh, you know, everyone's seeking, da da da. But, you know, what's actually behind these words, even?
I mean, you're right. It's an illusory, it's the illusion of seeking. So there are no unhappy people or no people suffering. But if you talk to them, you would notice quite quickly how exhausting they think life is. But it's an illusion. I mean, no one is suffering. Or they will tell you why they are happy. Because they don't see that it's all good anyway. That they are not happy because they have healthy kids and a house and 2 cars or whatever. Or they think they are happy because of that. And of course, that's normal.
Yeah.
There isn't anyone who's deeply suffering. But of course, if you get to know this freedom, I think, if you get to know the freedom that we talk about here, it might turn out as suffering, actually. To think that one is happy because one owns a house and has 2 cars and all those things. Would you say this is dead or alive? Well, it's both. Both or neither. That's just real and unreal. That's kind of dead and alive. Being and not being. Is and isn't. But there isn't a this which is dead and alive. You know.
Hi, Andreas.
So if I could, I would say nothing. Yes, right.
Sorry. I understand that there's no process because there's no time. There would need to be time to be a process for a process to be happening.
So far, so good.
But here's the but. But there's definitely an apparent is a very good word, but apparent physical process, like energetics and all happening and all that.
I like the definitely apparent process. Where's this definitely coming from? I'm totally with you with this apparent process and stuff, but where's this definitely coming from? Yeah, I know there's no answer, but no, it's not definitely. There isn't definitely. Yes, apparently there is an appearance of a body and a process and aging and thoughts and changes, and of course, but it's not certain.
Yeah,
Definite,
I suppose
in that sense.
I suppose I'm speaking from like the perspective of
an observer.
And this apparent physical process is still apparently happening. It's still going on. So maybe for me,
the observer adds the definitely because it's aware.
Perhaps on the other side of that, it's seen that it never actually happened. That process.
I would say there is no other side. What we talk about is simply when it turns out that this awareness, which would energetically say definitely, isn't definite, isn't real.
Because there's certain
no other side to it.
Mm. There's certain things I can recall in memory, like that were sort of like powerful experiences and whatnot. But from now, I can't actually determine if they happened or not. Like
Yes. Yeah.
it's it's a
This applies to all your life.
there's a memory, but they're very like sort of ghost-like kind of very cloud. They're like clouds, whereas before they were very sort of solid and like, wow, that really happened. It was really powerful. I would tell people about it and all the rest of it. But now there's the memory, but it's just sort of like sort of cerebral kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, no one knows really anymore if this stuff happened or not. Or yeah, everything that seemed to be real turns out to be very vague. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
But it doesn't apply but only to memory, even right now, so to speak. What are we going to confirm here?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yes. Yeah, that's what he was trying to do, but that definitely is an apparent body. But oh, it can't be confirmed. This can't be confirmed to be. It is kind of, but there's no confirmation. But there's also no denial of this. There's just this. No pushing away, inventing an artificial nothingness. Actually, it's all nothing. But we also doesn't, there's also not this artificial realness about it that comes from, oh yeah, you can't deny that. I'm aware of it. There definitely are people sitting in front of their screens, and you definitely are about, well, this energy, that which lives in the energy of conviction and confirmation in itself isn't real, doesn't have any substance. That's all. Doesn't change anything, doesn't do anything. Well, doesn't give an answer. It's quite useless to know the idea of this. Well,
And order and chaos are also just thoughts too. Like I was going to ask, is this complete chaos appearing as ordered? But that now that I speak it out, it's just this is the whole thought. It's just a thought paradigm there. This and
exactly.
that, extremes and
And in
polarity.
a way, you are already referring to something that you are aware of. Is this what happens? Is it order or chaos or?
The screen just right now, as you're saying, the screen, like the physical screen of the computer I'm using, just sort of went like holographic kind of for a sec. Like it was
Yeah.
like it was sort of like, oh, because I was seeing the screen, but then also like what I'm looking at is also like a sort of screen as well. And then it's sort of all just sort of went like a bit, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Doesn't mean anything. It just was what seemed to be happening.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I thought that whenever the me dropped, that this body would all of a sudden be super connected to like everything, and like in a very, like, I don't know, a very visceral kind of way. But I think it's just empty. There's no connection. It's empty. Everyone's empty.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Separation isn't replaced with connection.
Mm. And that's a lot lighter. That's not something to like run around the streets telling everyone about. Whereas the other one where you're like hyper connected and like you'd fucking tell everyone about that, like that's crazy. But empty is not really so crazy.
Oh, that what we talk about is so ordinary, and it doesn't need change. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very ordinary. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best bit about it as well. I think, like,
Oh, absolutely.
if it was if it was special, it would just be like, it's a bit like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially.
Like, okay, I'm the special thing that does the special thing. It just like seems so something, I don't know, dirty about it. It's about special.
Yeah, it's really quite uninteresting, actually, special.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, oh, you have a nice car. Oh, you have a deep spiritual experience. All right. So what?
Mm.
Oh, you, you became self-aware. Yeah. You feel connected. Yeah, it's really nothing.
Hi, Andreas. Hi.
Hello.
I'm always struck by how there is no certainty about anything. Can't deny it, you can't confirm it. But at the same time, there's no doubt either.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Would that be because there's nothing to be certain about or doubt?
Yeah, one could say so. Yes. In a way, they go together, but I can't explain it.
No.
I can't really explain where this comes from. And I can only say that it's very ordinary as well. But yes, there is no, it's not presenting knowledge,
No.
which then I can doubt again. Because it's actually really saying nothing. It's not, it doesn't have, I'm not trying to bring across a truth to someone.
Yeah. I think most of the time I have some sort of intangible idea of what you're talking about. I think I do.
Mm.
And then occasionally it's just like, woo. And
but
I have no idea at all. And there's nothing, there is that feeling of just nowhere to land.
Mm.
But I kind of see what you mean by timeless, because it's fast and yet it's kind of everything at the same time.
Yeah.
Can't explain it. It's
yeah, and I don't think that you have a. I think it's more like there's just this subtle yes to this, or I don't know if it's subtle or not. I think there's just energetically this huge yes to this, and then maybe sometimes you think because there is this yes, maybe you think you've understood something. And that at some point it just turns out that it wasn't your understanding. But I think there's just this yes to this. And not because you think you understand something probably the illusion of understanding comes afterwards, so to speak. And there now and again comes the, oh, whoa. Oh.
Yes. And there's probably also a habit of thinking that I can't be right about anything. Oh, now that says it, that doesn't quite say it, but there's a self-doubt, shall we say?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, in a way, there's nothing, what to say. I mean, the person constantly moves between knowing and certainty and doubting. And of course, there is also something true about doubting everything, because nothing really is as it is, but the person uses it against itself.
Yeah.
That's true. But of course, in a way, everything can be doubted. Every thought and so there's something quite cool about this. Because the reality of everything can be doubted. And in a way, one could say, those two, certainty and doubt, they completely melt here. And then there is neither nor, or both. Because I understand, I sometimes seem very certain and in these meetings. It has this energy. I mean, certainty maybe becomes totality. That's the certainty. That the mere speaking of those words is just total, but not really caring about true or untrue.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, the other side would be that I don't convey a truth. If I would start think, was it good that I said that? How did it arrive at the seeker? I wouldn't be able to say anything. I mean, it'll be misunderstood. And I can't say it right either. But in that sense, of course, that everything is unknown, but nothing doubts itself either. Thoughts doubt themselves. The room doesn't doubt themselves. Nothing. Everything just is exactly as it is, not caring much about true, untrue, clear, unclear, enlightened, unenlightened. Everything. As today, also on Sunday, there won't be a message. There won't be anyone who knows anything, and there won't be anyone who teaches anything. But fortunately, there will also not be anyone who needs anything. There just isn't anyone. And what seems to be happening, this timeless appearance, is just all there is. This is wholeness. Whatever seems to be happening, it's naturally itself. And by being so, it's naturally whole and complete. Thanks a lot for joining. I wish you a lovely day. Nice to see you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks. Thank you.